Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ladies Pitch Podcast. I am Haydee Baby, also known as your favorite mommy on these pod streets. What is going on, y'all? What's up? So, I'm so excited to be in front of the camera again. It's been a while since I provided you guys with some visuals. Some of the listeners been asking me, where's the video? Where's the video? You need to be on video. Here you go. This is for you because I listen to you guys' feedback and your advice, and it means a lot to me. So here you go. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope that you find yourself in great spirits, great vibes as always. And if not, hopefully you will be by the end of this episode. I'm doing good. Can't complain. It's been a great week. It's been a great week of creating content, trying my best to be consistent with it. Shout out to Styles. I hope you guys have been enjoying the skits that we've been putting out every week. We're going to keep it coming. We're going to keep it going. We're going to be creating more. And he and I are super excited to be working with one another. I've praised Styles a bunch of times on this podcast because he is, like I say, my biggest motivator and my biggest pusher. I've mentioned on here before how he was the first podcaster and content creator that I networked with, and these years later we are still linked up and we're still working together, which I think is super dope. We have a great connection, we have great work ethic, and we hold each other accountable, which is very, very important. That's what's been going on this week. So I'm super excited to continue working on that. I also want to record and release another Don't Piss Me Off episode because I'm pretty sure you can assume that I've been seeing things on social media, things going on in the world, things going on in my life that have been pissing me off, but been keeping it together for the most part. Keeping it together. Yeah. So before we get into the shits, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms or your favorite streaming platform. You can find Ladies Pitch on Instagram at Ladies Pitch and our YouTube channel at Ladies Pitch. Don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment, drop a little flame, drop an 100 emoji, whatever you want. But it's important, again, to keep us in the algorithm. Let's get into it. So, one of the first things that I wanted to talk about on today's show, let's see if I can find it. All right. It was this meme that I saw, and it said, "Don't bring your little bad gang banging ass kids around me. I'm raising mine to be nerds around this bitch." And let me tell you, being that friend, being the one in the friend group for the most part that doesn't have kids, that meme is relatable, right? And like, how do you deal, my people that are listening, my listeners that have no kids, how do you deal with your friends' kids that misbehave? If, for example, they just talk back, they're rude, they lack manners, they don't respect boundaries, they hit you upside your head, they throw shit at you. It's like, and shout outs to all my friends with kids, they're doing an amazing job. But I have witnessed and I have been the person that has experienced that at times, right? So there are but so many times that I'm kid, I try to give like the stare down, like, don't play with me. Don't play with me, kid. Like, and I'm a person that kids love me. My first job ever was as a camp counselor. So kids, I've always been great with kids. Kids have always gravitated to me. They've always confided in me. They've always respected me. But it's also because I've kind of let them know, like, listen, I'm not your parent, but I am an adult. I am older than you. And, you got to respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just be running amok and just, misbehaving with me or disrespecting me or whatever. So it's tough. It's funny because a lot of parents most parents don't like to be told about their kid. I don't know if, my moms or my dads listening is that parent, but, they kind of take offense to it or gets offensive and like, no, my kid wouldn't do that. Or, who are you to tell my kid something? Or who are you to yell at my kid? I don't think you should be yelling at anyone's kids, don't get me wrong, or even put your hands on anyone's kids. But, you should be able to be the adult to go speak to the mom or dad and let them know, like, listen, your kid is a little pain in the ass. Like, you might want to check that because, your kids, when your kids are out, right? When your kids step foot outside of your home, they represent you as a parent. And these are the words. This is how I know I'm getting older and I'm starting to think like my mom, because those are things that my mom and my stepdad would always tell me. Like, when you leave this house, who you are outside of the house, you're representing your parents. So if you go out there and you're being rude and you're just acting like you have no home training, that reflects back on your parents, and it just seems like your parents didn't raise you right and didn't teach you anything, didn't teach you any morals, any respect, any boundaries, nothing. So I'm that person to kind of like, if it happens more than once, like I'll just be like, your kid did this and that, and you might want to say something. But it's tough, it's tricky. You have to know, like, your friends, you got to know, like, I guess the type of person that your friend is, the type of mother, or even if it's like a dad, you gotta know. You gotta know your homie, or you gotta know your cousin or your brother, whoever it is. I mean, if it's my nephew or my niece, I'm definitely not gonna hesitate to tell them something. I'm gonna just be like, for the most part, my niece is older. My niece, definitely, we have a great relationship. Like, my niece respects me for the most part. Like, but yeah, I just, I'd like to hear from you guys. Like, my listeners with no kids, or even just like, how do you deal with a friend that has a badass little fucking kid, or your niece or nephew or someone in the family, any kids in the family that just either won't listen or just don't respect, or just a pain in the ass. I like to think of it, a lot of times I like to think about it as practice for when I have my own kids. The patience, it tests my patience. For the most part, I'm very much patient with kids. It's crazy because I'm not a very patient person in general, but with kids, I have like this soft spot for them, and I'm a lot more patient, I'm a lot more empathetic. I try to always think of myself at that age, and how, kids are just kids, and kids are not doing things to be malicious most times. They're just kids. They don't know any better, but it's our job as adults to kind of like guide them, the right way. And for the most part, it really does take a village, because I've helped a few of my friends, with their kids when they've needed me, when I needed to be a babysitter, when I needed to step in, if something was wrong. Like, I've been that friend, right? So I've realized that it really does take a village. It really does. Like, I really do. Like, I empathize, and I give it up to the single moms that are doing it by themselves. I give it up to the single dads that are doing it by themselves. It's a lot of work, and it definitely does take a village. It takes your close peoples that are willing to, you know what I'm saying, give a helping hand. It takes your mom, if you still got your mom alive and kicking, if you've got your grandma, if you've got your dad. It takes a village for real. And I give it up to y'all that do it every single day. You grind, you get up early, you got to get these kids ready for school. You've got to like go to work, deal with shit at work. Then you got to deal with things after school. You've got to deal with PTA. You've got to deal with the kids aren't any extracurricular activities. You've got to be home and be a wife. You've got to be home, be a mom. And then you have to try to squeeze in some time, some personal time. And even that's not guaranteed. It's a lot. And I've witnessed it firsthand. And as crazy as it sounds, like, I just look forward to it. I look forward to doing things like that, one day with my child and my child's father, whoever, that may be. But I just look forward to those little things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'll appreciate and I won't take for granted because I waited so long to be able to have that. So I won't take it for granted, and I thank God that I still have my parents that are very much involved in my life, and we have a great relationship. We've built a great relationship throughout the years. And my mom always tells me, like, I know my mom is going to spoil her grandchild like never before. She just tells me all the things that, like, she'll do. She talks crap about, like, I'll be like, Mom, you're gonna like babysit when me and me and my future husband want to go out or whatever. She's like, no, no, no. My mom is lying. My mom is going to want to be with her grandkid all the time. My mom is that person, you know. My grandma was an amazing grandma. I speak highly of her always on this podcast. My grandfather, same thing, an amazing grandfather. And my mom says they were better grandparents than they were parents. So my mom is going to be that person. She's going to be that grandma. And my stepdad is going to be that grandfather. Like, he's a softie for kids as it is. So yeah, that's gonna be very funny. But shout outs to all my moms. Shout outs to all my dads that listen to this podcast. You are greatly appreciated. I am giving you your flowers because I know firsthand it is not easy. But it's different because I get to give them back at the end of the day. So you guys gotta live with these little motherfuckers for 18, 19, 20, 21 years, you know? So yeah. Speaking of grannies, listen, guys, I need you to not judge. We listen and we don't judge. I have a lot of high thoughts. I really do. And sometimes they're childish. Sometimes they make a lot of sense. And a lot of times they're just comical, all right, for entertainment purposes only. But I was just thinking and just scrolling through social media as I always do. And I've seen a few grandmothers, grannies, right, pop up on my timeline. And I've realized that grandmas are not what they used to be. They are not. Like, I see grandmas getting BBLs now. I see grandmas in the club, in the bar every weekend. I see grandmas, poking the ass out, doing the little, that little, when you turn around and you just poke your ass out, that little pose. I see grandmas posing like that. It's crazy how times have changed. And listen, if you don't look your age, you don't feel your age, and you look amazing, I applaud you. That is an amazing thing. I'm not talking about how you feel, how you look. I think it's more of the way you act, like the behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, the grannies are really trying to hold on to their youth, and that's fine. But I miss the old school grannies. Like, I just miss the grannies that wore muumuus. Now grannies is wearing lingerie out to the club. Lingerie is a club outfit, guys. In case you haven't noticed, lingerie is a club outfit now. Grannies is wearing that to club on Saturday nights. They don't know, these grannies, you call them up. I remember back in the day when I was sick and stuff like that, or I was with my grandmother and I was sick. My grandma will hook it up. My grandma would give me steam, would put me in the steam in the shower. She would rub me down with Vicks. She was making me, I'm saying, a jarabe. She was giving me whatever to make me feel better, whatever home remedies. These grandmas nowadays, they don't know nothing about the jarabes. Where my Latinos at? Dumb grannies that know how to put some shit together, some mixture, potion, whatever the fuck they put together. You drink that shit and you are good in like 24 hours. My BBL grannies don't know nothing about that, okay? I want those old school grannies back. At least know how to do what the old school grannies know how to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck how you know how to make a passion fruit margarita. I don't give a fuck about that. Do you know how to put a jarabe together? Do you know how to do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you know how to do? What do you know how to do? Can you cook a mean, you know what I'm saying, spaghetti? Can you make a mean ass pernil? Like, can you make some arroz con andule? Can you make a macaroni? Like, y'all know how to do that? Or all y'all know how to do is order from Pizza Hut or the Domino's. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you know how to do? Tell me. Because now you getting that income tax or whatever you were doing and you getting that BBL. Like, I'm sorry. I feel like if you 60 plus years old, you have no business getting a BBL. That's my opinion. You have no business getting a BBL. Like, I don't want to say you're done with life because 60 is not old, but you're about, if I'm 50% done with my life, you're about like 75 at 60. You're about like 75% done. Plus, a lot of things can go wrong. You never know. You're taking a huge risk when you have like that type of cosmetic surgery done at that age. All jokes aside though. I don't know. I just miss my grannies. And I think I'm gonna blame Bernice Burgos, because Bernice Burgos, I know, is a grandma. She looks fucking amazing. Gonna give her that much. But I heard it before on a podcast, and she just has no wisdom. These grannies nowadays, they just have no wisdom. They have no words of wisdom. I saw Bernice on the Joe Button podcast a few months back, and she's just a bird brain ass. What is it that they want to be called? Glamma. She's a bird brain ass glamour. She's all beauty. It's everything is on the outside. But up here, just I don't know. I think they defunding brain cells out here. I don't know. Instead of defunding mics, instead of defunding, my sassy men and all that shit, they are defunding brain cells, because what is going on in our communities, guys? What is going on? Got Captain America getting heat because he's trying to raise respectable young men. They're calling him toxic. They're calling him, he's the definition of toxic masculinity. Leave Captain America alone. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. The things that he was saying, those are things that I've heard my stepdad say to my brothers. Like, he's trying to raise men, which I can't say for a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? But ain't my business. Let me not speak on it. But I have found absolutely nothing wrong with what he said. He's trying to raise his kids with respect, with morals. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in our communities. I don't know what's ruining the mentality of a lot of these people out here. But I could only worry about me and mine and what I will do with me and mine. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? There's not much else I could do but get on this podcast and talk my shit and crack my jokes. And that's what I do. That's what I do. If you like it, I love you. If you don't, I love you anyway. You gotta love your haters, right? Too old to be using haters, but anyway. Yeah, guys. So bring back grannies. Bring back grannies. I miss y'all. Moo-moos. The coin purses in the bra, a random ass 20 in the boob, the $20 bill and the birthday cards every birthday, every Christmas. Like, bring those grannies back. Get these little BBL grannies out of here. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Sick of it. Well, guys, that is all for this week's episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms. Again, Ladies Pitch on Instagram at Ladies Pitch, and on YouTube. Our YouTube handle is at Ladies Pitch. Shout out to my girl Dory. Shout out to Styles. Shout out to all you guys that tune in every single week to listen to the pod and DM me and provide me with feedback and continue to support us. After 5 years, guys, I totally forgot to celebrate 5 years of Ladies Pitch. I'm here now. So thank you guys for all the support the past 5 years. Tune in and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.